We're going to move on now to our next division, commercial specialty. What is commercial specialty exactly? Well, it's kind of our own internal nomenclature here at Appalachian Underwriters for everything other than workers' compensation on the commercial side. Your general liability, your property, your garage, your professional liability, your commercial umbrella, excess liability. That all falls under commercial specialty. One of the things that we really like is our small package business. We are really looking to bolster what we do in terms of small package business. Anything from alarm installation, childcare, churches, fitness centers with swimming pools, saunas, even tennis courts, janitorial, special events. We are looking to write small package business, and we've got multiple carriers to place that business. BOPs, your business owner policies, we have multiple markets for placing a BOP when you need it. Now, our BOP program, it's designed to fill the needs of the small business owners with up to $3 million in sales. Property coverage is offered with no coinsurance clause and with loss of income on an actual loss sustained basis. Peak season glass sign coverage is also available. Professional coverage included on selected classes. With the carriers we make available to you, we can write over 700 classes for a BOP. At www.expressbop.com, we give you access to a BOP rater with CNA. If you don't have CNA available, you want to get a BOP, CNA is very good with those. Go to our expressbop.com. You can get all the way to the point of quote. You can request bind within 24 hours. Everything, as long as it fits CNA's appetite, will be processed for a bind. If you want more than CNA, my recommendation is the phone quote unit, calling in and getting a phone quote on a BOP. We also do quite a bit of professional liability, E&O coverage for over 70 classes, including insurance agents. One of the biggest areas we actually write E&O is insurance agents. We'll also do real estate agents, home inspectors, technology professionals. We'll do medical malpractice for doctors. We'll do E&O for your accountants, your attorneys. We'll do directors and officers liability, monoline EPLI. Lines of business are available either as a package or monoline, depending on what you're looking to do, the class, and the carrier. As I said early on, when it comes to tools, we have expressproliability.com. It's not going to provide you a rate, but it is a great tool for submitting a professional liability risk. You can go in, plug, chug everything, submit. Within 24 hours, you're going to get a turnaround quote for your professional liability. We talked about in workers' compensation some of the things that we do that are very tough to place, and I said temporary staffing. Well, we also do the package portion of the staffing program as well. In fact, it's such a big program for us. We have one underwriter whose sole job is not only temporary staffing workers' compensation, but the Staffing Pro program that you see here as well. He sees the staffing submissions for any given company all the way through. On top of the workers' compensation, we'll do the general liability, employee dishonesty, cyber and privacy liability, property, hired non-owned auto and leased autos. Your blanket additional insured and waiver of subrogation is included. Monoline EPLI, vicarious liability, civil liability. Now here's the one thing that really sets this program apart. For the package portion, your Staffing Pro, minimum premium is as low as $200. Many of you probably have been out there if you've done any staffing programs. Minimum premiums maybe $1,000. A lot of cases for these staffing companies, $5,000. With our program, the way it's set up, we can go as low as $200. Tremendous benefit for you in terms of expanding the market. You can go out for your package staffing program. Next up is our Car Pro, Certified Auto Repair Program. Your garage risk. Our garage program, you have liability limits up to $1 million. Garage keepers up to $500,000. Of course, as we talked about in workers' compensation, we mentioned it there, we can do the workers' compensation. New ventures are acceptable. That's another big thing. You're going to hear a lot as our company that sets us apart. We consider a lot of new ventures. Garage is no different. We'll consider it there. We're looking at your general automotive repair shops. Towing, if incidental, and basically not municipal, auto club rotation, or pay for hire is acceptable, but it has to be incidental. And really what we're looking for here is 1 or 2 trucks. If you submit and say they got 5 or 6 tow trucks for 1 garage, I can tell you now the carrier's not going to take that as incidental, that they're just doing incidental. So just keep in mind the incidental stuff will be covered. We're looking 1 or 2 trucks there. ExpressCarPro.com is where you go to rate up a garage risk if you want to do it online. You can go through within about 5 minutes, get a quote, submit it in within 24 hours. You'll have a binding quote. Very convenient. Next up is our Dealer Pro program, which is for independent, non-franchised auto dealers. So we're looking for your small independent auto dealers. Your buy here, pay here guys, that's not going to qualify. We're looking for your true used auto dealers here. Minimum premium of $1,000. Maximum deductible goes up to $5,000. Garage liability up to $1 million. Dealer open lot limit $750,000, which if you really think about it, not only, is you're looking really at the smaller guys, but really $750,000, that's a pretty good sized auto dealer, used auto dealer, I should say. Garage keeper's liability up to $500,000. Again, we can do the workers' compensation, new ventures eligible, and we do have an online rater for our used auto dealers, expressdealerpro.com. Very easy to use. MarPro is your mobile auto reconditioner. What we're talking about here is the guy that might come out and pull out a dent in your car, or you've got a crack in your windshield and they'll come fix the glass. Or if you work in an office building, you might come out and those guys put the thing in your windshield wiper with services for taking your car while you're at work, washing it, detailing it. Those are the types we're talking about here for the MarPro program. Now, they're generally 1 to 2 man shows, so we're going to have no minimum premium here. Very flexible deductible. New ventures are acceptable because we see a lot of new ventures here. A lot of these guys maybe worked at a car wash or at a detail shop, decided to go out on their own and, start a business. Commercial auto up to $1 million. Liability limits up to $1 million. Garage keepers up to $500,000 because they will be handling the vehicles and going to them. Non-owned auto liability is included as well. ExpressMarPro.com. Again, online rating available for this type of risk. Now, just like workers' compensation, if you really were to go out and poll people on Appalachian Underwriters, agents, and say, you've worked with Appalachian Underwriters for such and such, what do you know them for? First thing they're going to say is workers' compensation. Next thing they're going to say is contractors. We do a lot of contractors here. From the GL, it's no different. We'll do GL for artisan and general contractors, both residential and commercial. Again, whenever I talk to an agent on the phone, they're always looking for what's your targets, what's your sweet spot, another way to put it, and we'll kind of give you an idea of that here. We're looking for residential home builders that do 5 to 6 homes per year. Applicants who've been in business and insured 3 years or longer. Less than $15 million in annual receipts or less than $1 million for any given project. Now that's kind of the target area, the sweet spot. However, that is not everything that we're going to write. We'll write new ventures as long as they have a minimum 3 years experience in the same contracting segment. All we need is a resume as proof. So when you send in your submission, have your contractor, whether they're artisan or general, provide a resume showing they've been in that contracting segment for at least 3 years. Send that in with the application. You've just made turnaround time much easier when it comes to the carrier. Now, our GL for contractors written on an admitted basis with an A- rated carrier or on a non-admitted basis with an A-rated carrier by AM's Best. Appalachian Underwriters has underwriting authority. What does that mean to you? Underwriting authority. It means once we have it, we do not have to wait on the carrier to issue you a bindable quote, which tells you how much our carriers think of us to give us the authority to do so. That speeds up the turnaround time for you to get a quote and a bind in front of your client and close the deal. Very important. Now, we do general liability for other lines of business other than contractors. Kind of goes back to the package pays. We'll do your dwellings. for general liability. Your garage, your churches, your lawn tree care guys, your landscapers, vacant buildings, special events, schools, pet services, some of your recreational areas. We do more than just liability for contractors. I highly recommend for agents that need just monoline general liability for a contractor to use our contractor's liability rater. It takes 5 minutes to get to a quote, and you have the option there online to request bind. That is a great feature when it comes to one of our raters, especially when you're dealing with contractors who every time they walk in your office and they got to get a policy, they needed it yesterday to be on a job site. So don't forget that about our contractor's liability rater, the ability to request bind. And then at the same time, I told you we have other raters for general liability through other carrier programs. For some of the things you see here that aren't contractors, we have a rater online that you can access for USLI. We also have one for Atlantic Casualty for your GL and your package business for other than contractors. Here's a few of the markets and the programs that you'll see quite a bit of from the commercial specialty side. I mentioned Atlantic Casualty as another one, Western Heritage as well, Mid-Continent is another. But what you see here on this page, we'll see a lot of USLI business. We do a ton of USLI business, do a lot of CNA. Inner Hanover's big for us. Endurance is also another nationwide carrier that does a great job with contractors. We have Burlington available in a number of states. We offer multiple sources for getting that business placed, just as we do with the comp, just as we do with the personal lines.